Mama says these are my magic pants.
Well, hello there everybody and welcome to Indie Zombie. Today we are reviewing the game Magicians and Looters. Magicians and Looters is a Metroidvania-style action RPG game developed and made by Rockapalus Studios and was released on Steam Greenlight last summer and is also out on Xbox 360 Indie Network, where it currently goes for $3 on Xbox and $10 on Steam. In this game, you control 3 different characters who you can also switch between at different save points. First off is Vienna, who is a very fast sort of fist fighter style character. And then you have Brent, who is also your introduction to magic, who's your shield wielder, and just an all-around one-handed sword fighter. And then you have Nin, who is a two-handed sword fighter who can also use magic, but each one of them all have different abilities. Vienna has a high jump ability and eventually a wall run ability. Brent will later get a wall jump ability, and his shield will help against projectiles, and eventually he will receive a magical shield that will reflect all projectiles back at the enemy. Nin has the ability where she is able to slide underneath obstacles, and that was really the only ability I was able to find for her. I looked all over the rest of the game, and I'm not sure if she does have any other abilities. Hopefully she does. So far, though, I haven't really been able to find one. Ah, crap. You know what? I just realized I haven't talked about the story. Am I wearing a different shirt? The story of Magicians and Looters is quite simple. You are 3 apprentice students who are learning to become sorcerers, but you also want to be adventurers, blah, 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 blah. Your teacher, the master wizard, gets captured by this evil wizard who then sells him. It gets a little complicated, but it's still pretty simple. You go off to rescue him, but at the same time, you're mostly doing it because you're bored. Pretty simple, really. Okay, so let's get some positives and negatives out about this game right now. First, positives. Number 1, this game is fast, fluid, it's easy to play, the animations look really good. There's very little voice work except for when you're sorting through all the weapon items. And good God, are they hilarious. I mean, just listen to this stuff.
Abraca sword, bruh. I'm hungry.
All the character and monster designs look good. All the dialogue is actually really funny. And every single time you go to a save point, your characters will chit-chat. And every time, well, not every time you go to a save point, but just about every time you come to a dialogue scene, it's not really meant to be important. It's just meant to be entertaining. And it is. It's always very funny. And it was always very different. And I really like that. One other quick thing to add in this game. All characters have a blitz ability. Basically, every single time you get into combat and begin just hacking the crap out of all your enemies, and or if you take any damage, you eventually fill up a bar, which is called blitz mode, where sometimes enemies move slower, you will do much higher damage, you will move much faster. And in blitz mode, it helps move the game along, especially in heavy combat areas, a lot faster. Makes it a lot more frenetic, a little bit more interesting, and especially with all the added items that will add bonuses to blitz, you know, giving you slowdown ability, adding your attack damage, adding speed, and various other effects. Adds to that degree, especially with all the additional magic as well. You have the fireball spell, which is a major component, was really the only spell I really ended up using a lot. At the end of the game, well, near the end of the game, when your characters level up enough, you get the telewarp ability that will allow you to telewarp to any other level in the game. This game is a crap ton of fun. The sense of humor is really great. The combat is pretty good. My only real complaint, though, about this game is that why can't you just heal yourself? Yeah, there are some enemies who do drop items that allow you to regain a little bit of health, but after you've bought every single item from all the merchants that are available in this game, why can't you be allowed to purchase healing items? Why? I mean, I don't really like the idea that every time you need to really heal, you need to go back to camp in order to regain all of your health, and not to mention all your magic and everything. Maybe that's meant to be a part of the challenge of the game, but for me, that's just a little bit too much of an annoyance. Namely, because when you go to the very last castle in order to take on Spud, you have to traverse this 4-room semi-obstacle course. And if you take any amount of damage from some of these enemies, namely these bomb-type elemental enemies, you take a significant large amount of damage. So when you do get to Spud with your first character, you face a severe handicap. Now maybe that's meant to add to the challenge of it, but for me this is more of an annoyance because this is the hardest boss fight you will have in the entire game. Despite my minor complaints and the ending being a little bit too meta at times, I thought this game was a lot of fun, and I couldn't help myself from just wanting to continue to play it. If there was a New Game Plus, this game would be even better. On a rating scale, because of some of my qualms, but overall, this game gets an 8 out of 10. This game is a lot of fun, and if you are a Metroidvania fan, you will love this game. I look forward to whatever else this developer is working on in the future, and if they are going to make a sequel, I would love to see one. Magicians and Looters is currently on Xbox Live Indie section, going for about $3. At the time when I started doing this review, there was an autumn sale on Steam where it was going for $7 to $6. Normally it goes for $10. If you're on Steam or you have an Xbox 360, I don't know how the indie section on Xbox One works, but if this game is available, definitely do check out a demo for it, and do play it, do support these guys. This game is worth it. This game is a lot of fun. All in all total, this game took me about 11 hours in order to complete. As I understand it, this game is actually only about 6 hours, but because of a lot of the backtracking and then some of the problems I had with many of the boss fights, but nonetheless, I wanted to continue playing this game. I wanted to play it more. I wanted to beat it. Nonetheless, this is a good, lengthy game, and is worth the time and is worth the money. I say check it out. Well, until next time, everybody, this was Indie Zombie Reviews. I hope that you've enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time for another new adventure. Bye!
I never used a spoon, but I heard about them. Them things they give you in them Chinese restaurants for your food.